Good morning everyone. It's 9 o'clock Monday morning and we've had a weekend. I remember posting to you, talking to you on Friday. It was absolutely boiling, end of the day. I didn't blame any of you for not tuning in Friday evening, and it's been horrible all weekend, but the sky's blue this morning. It looks a bit fresher outside, which is always good. Sometimes when it's very hot, it's you feel very lethargic, don't you? You don't feel like doing anything exercise-wise anyway. So I'm Gila, because I'm just introducing myself, because I know there's a few new people who have joined the group, which is fantastic, who may not have met me, and I haven't met you. So hello. If anyone joins me, please give me a high five emoji or something like that, so I know you're with me. And it would be great for you to comment and so on. Now, I'm not sure with people if you'll be at work, 9 o'clock, or whether you're at home with the kids or you're even on holiday. However, you're part of this group. I want to give you lots of content, lots of things to do over the summer holidays, help you find out a bit more about Pilates, learn about Pilates, try some things at home, so that then come September, when we get back into routines and my classes are back up and running as well, you know, you may feel, actually, yeah, I enjoyed that. I'd like to go along to some classes, whether it's mine or someone else's. So I posted on Friday, I posted a video about your neutral spine, and no one commented. I know it was Friday evening and no one joined me live, and I'm guessing over the weekend things possibly have been very, very busy. So watch it. It's important to know where your neutral spine is. And once you've watched it, put a comment for me. Try out finding your neutral spine and put a comment under that video or just in the group and put "found it," and I'll know exactly what you mean. And if people haven't watched the video and they're not watching this now, they won't know and think, "Found what? What have we found?" So just put "found it" if you've been practicing your neutral spine and feel comfortable with where your neutral spine is. So that's job number one for today, is to find your neutral spine and then comment in the group that you have found it. So I want to know. I will be on people's backs, you know, asking you if you've done it, because I know some of us need a bit of a push sometimes, in the nicest possible way. It's Monday morning. It's like, oh, it's Monday morning, but it's Monday morning. We've got to be motivated. We've got, yeah, brand new week ahead of us. Let's get going. Positive thoughts, positive vibes. Let's, you know, make the most of the week ahead of us, rather than, oh no, it's Monday morning again. So that's why I'm here. 9 o'clock Monday morning. We need to get going. If you're going to join me live, great. No one's come online yet. If you do, then you can join in with me. If you're going to watch this on record, then pause me a second, find a space. You don't need a mat, but if you've got a mat and you want to use that, if it helps you get more into sort of the feel of doing some Pilates, that's fine. And then get yourself sorted, and if the kids come in and join you, fine. If someone else wants to join you, fine. But I'm just going to show you a couple of exercises that you can do, some basic exercises. Now, before we start doing that, I want to talk to you about what your core is and where it is and what it does. A lot of people talk about their core, or you hear it used in class. You might think, well, what is that? Now, in your body, obviously there's lots of muscles. Often when people go to the gym or they talk about abs and working your abs and your six-pack, they're talking about the very superficial muscles. So your rectus abdominis, and as well as others that are, you know, near the surface of your body. In Pilates, what we do is we focus on the real deep postural muscles. There are quite a few layers in, and one particular muscle that we concentrate on is called our transversus abdominis, and it does what it says on the tin. It transverses your abdominals. It goes all the way round, and it's really important. Think of it like a personal corset, and it attaches through fascia and so on. It attaches onto your spine, onto your pelvis, and onto your ribs. So it holds all this middle bit in place. This is the part where we tend to get a lot of backache, or this is the part where, especially if we're women and we've had children, where we find our tummies just sort of, you know, we think, oh, where have our flat tummy's gone? It's all this deep line muscle, this transversus abdominis. And this is why Pilates is great, to try and get your tummy flattened again, yeah, or flatter, especially after having children and it's being stretched in the opposite direction. So it's really, really good because every Pilates exercise works on connecting with these deep postural muscles. Now, little tip, if you're thinking, okay, right, that all makes sense, but I still don't know where my core is. If you find your belly button and just put your hands just below your belly button slightly and you do a little cough, then you'll feel them start to tighten. That's it. That's what we're trying to connect to. And sometimes, again, particularly for women who have had children, sometimes it's difficult to connect to them again. You think, well, are they working? I think I'm doing what Gila's saying, but I'm not sure. I can't find it. And it's just that connection. What I say to clients is just think about connected to them. And the more you do it, then all of a sudden that connection will come back. But you've got to start putting your mind to your body, thinking about this area. Start focus, or even if you think nothing's happening, because gradually you will, and it will come back. That connection will improve, and then you'll be able to just turn your core on and off, you know, the flick of a switch. So it's these abdominals, and what I'd say is, imagine a belt, a hipster belt, and it's coming all the way round, okay? So this is our, you know, this muscle supports our posture, and if you were to pull that belt in as tight as it would possibly go, so imagine there's 10 notches on the belt, and you pull it in right up to notch 10, and you contract those abdominals, these lower deep abdominals, as much as you can. Yeah, you probably won't be able to hold it for very long. You might feel it in the back a little bit, you might feel it in the tummy. That's the muscles you're working on. Okay, and then release. You can't hold the muscles in that tight all day long. They're just fatigued really quickly. So what we say in Pilates is, if you imagine that belt was notch 10 and you're contracting 100%, we try and aim for about 30%. Now don't get hung up on it, don't worry about it, but it just helps you think about it a little bit. So then, if we do this again, think now about drawing that belt in halfway to notch 5 on the belt. So now we're about 50%, and loosen it a couple of notches. So what you're aiming for is still some connection there. You're still recruiting the muscles, but they're not over fatiguing. And that sort of connection you should be able to hold whether you're sat at your desk, whether you're in the car driving, whether you're walking around, when you're picking something up. Sometimes you'll need to recruit it a bit more. Say you picked up something really heavy, you'd really need to connect through those lower abs. But during everyday stuff, try and think that sort of 30%, like notch 3 on the belt. So that's what you have to think about. And again, little test now to see if people are watching the video and listening to me, because I don't need to be sat here talking to myself. It'd be really great to get some feedback from people, because this group's for you. Okay, this group's for you, and so I want to know, tell me what else you'd like, what other information you want, and then I can do it. Yeah, so just so I know, so it's useful. If it's not useful for you, then there's no point wasting your time or my time. So, again, a comment under this video. What could we have? Something like, let's have connected, or something as say a little code word, connected. When you think, yeah, I've got that, or I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to connect through, and I'm engaging those lower abdominals. So comment connected underneath when you've done it. So I know you're trying this out. Okay, so let's put the neutral spine and this connection with the core together in an exercise, because I think I know that's what people would like, is to do some exercise at home and see what sort of thing we involve. So let's lay down. I'm coming back here just so that you can see me and I can fit it all in the screen. You're going to lay yourselves down on your back, and again we talked about our neutral spine in this position in that last video. So your feet are flat, knees are bent, and you're going to rock the pelvis forwards and backwards. You want to find that midway point. Remember, you can check by putting your hand underneath, should just be to get it up to the first knuckle, or if we make that diamond shape, like I said in the video, heel of your hand on your hip, it should be laying flat on your pelvis. So here, we now connect that imaginary belt, draw it up to about notch 3, engage those abdominals. And you're going to start just by sliding one leg out and back in, and then the other one. So do it with me. If you're watching this on record, pop me next to you and we will do it together. You want to keep your spine, your neutral spine, in place the whole time. Sometimes, I just move my arm out the way so you can see, as you lift the leg away, what wants to happen is the back pulls away from the floor. Really draw that in, keep your neutral spine, and connecting that belt, that imaginary belt, will help. So you're working those lower abdominals all the time. We can then add in a single arm float. So opposite arm to leg goes back together. And again, as you take this arm over, sometimes if you're tight in the shoulders, the rib cage will want to lift, that will affect your neutral spine. Keep the collarbone soft, only take the arm back as far as is comfortable. And you're keeping this connection here, keeping the pelvis in neutral. Don't worry about the breathing at the moment. I'll talk about breathing another time. And really focus on keeping that technique. So see if you can do about 20 or so of those, but concentrating on your technique. I'd actually rather, and I say this in my classes, you do fewer and do them properly, really good quality, than you just do loads and you lose your technique and don't do it properly. There's no point in doing that. So do it slowly, carefully, keep checking your neutral spine, especially if you're new to this and this is the first time you've done it. Keep drawing those abdominals in. You want to keep all of this in that mid part of you in that position as you do your opposite arm and leg. Okay, so I'm going to call that a star, okay, that exercise. So again, I'd like a comment about having tried it. Tell me if you've done it. Again, put me a little emoji star underneath if you've done it and you've had a go, or how you found it. And please let me know if you've got any other comments. I'm going to try and connect with you in some way or another every day if I can, or certainly every few days. So it'd be great to get some feedback. So have a lovely day, everyone. I hope that sort of got you up and ready. And if you're watching this later at the end of the day, maybe it's just helped you sort of distress a little bit from the day. It's the start of the new week. Let's be positive. Let's get going with some great stuff. You can do it. You've just got to put your mind to it, and sometimes tell yourself, believe in yourself that you can do it. If you like this group, you think of anyone else, you think, they're talking about Pilates, they haven't been before, or they're a beginner, or they'd like some more information, please point them in the direction of this group. It's obviously only started at the end of last week. We've got a few members, but I'd love to grow it over the summer because I've got so much stuff I'd love to share with you and tell you all about, and you know, all about Pilates, because it really does make a difference, I believe, to all sorts of things, not just your posture or your strength or anything else, a whole host of things, and I will gradually tell you about all of those over the summer. But please share, please tell people about the group, get people involved, and I would love to hear from you. So have a good day, everyone, and sorry, a fly just flew past me then, and I will see you soon.